Well, we're right in the middle of such an important season for our church. We always like to end the year with faith, with anticipation and appreciation. And we always choose one word at the end of the year to focus on. And the word that the Lord gave us this year was favor. It's a word that gets thrown around. Sometimes we use it just to say, I got a good parking spot. It's the favor of God. Or, like we say, will you do me a favor? Well, when it comes to God, favor is more than just a circumstance.
Right.
Favor is a frame of mind.
Wow.
And I promise you, if you look back over this year, there's a lot that you were frustrated about and a lot you didn't plan for. But there was a lot of the goodness of God that you didn't expect too.
So true.
And we need to remember that.
So good.
And we need to continue to take God at His word, even when we don't understand His plans.
Yep.
And so thousands of us are doing that right now. Already offerings have been coming in from all over the world. And let me tell you what we do. We receive a special offering at the end of every year for expansion. We do outreach. We build local campuses. At some points, this goes to generate our online ministry. Which was just an idea a few years ago, but who knew, except God, that this year, for the majority of the year, most of our ministry would be happening online.
Yep.
God knew that,
Yeah.
and He positioned us for it,
Yeah.
and we're thankful to Him for it. And we are giving so that the gospel can go forth all over the world. That's what you're a part of. I want to encourage you to be praying about this, and not just pray, but act on it.
Yes.
What is God calling you to give this year so the gospel can go forth? And know that His favor is on you wherever you are.
Right. So all of the ministry that we used to do at a physical location, welcoming and following up with people, connecting with those who've accepted Christ, it's still happening. It just looks a little bit different now. God is using this season to connect people in a unique way. And we're seeing thousands of people continue to get connected to our church. I'm really excited for you to see how we've still been building the church this year. So take a look at this.
Take a look and get ready to give. God's going to show up in a great way.
His favor be upon you and 1,000 generations, and your family and your children and their children and their children.
We've seen God move in some incredible ways in the online ministry in the year 2020. Now, instead of showing you a video of everything that's happened this year, I want to show you what's happening right now, in this moment. Show you some of the people that are behind these remarkable numbers. Now, right now, 171 countries are tuned in as a part of this experience with you.
Once COVID hit, I found myself listening to a lot more worship music. One Sunday, I was watching Elevation music videos and found a live link. I clicked the link and found myself right in the middle of an Elevation worship experience, right before the sermon started. After the sermon, I recommitted my life to Christ, and it's been the most amazing change. This year, 18,943 people just like me connected to our church for the first time. And this year alone, 9,532 committed their life to Christ.
We haven't just seen life change happening through the main worship experience. This year, we were also able to launch eKids online.
Hi, my name is Ivan. I'm 10 years old and I live in Florida. I started watching eKids online since March, and I watch it with one of my friends, and we call on Zoom and we learn more about God. And we're not the only ones. 2,971 watching every week.
So Celeste, Ivan, people like yourself have been connecting like never before. It's looked a little bit different. You've turned your living rooms into places of worship, maybe your businesses, maybe you've been tuning in from the car, listening while you're driving. But the point is people are joining, people are connecting like never before. Now this year alone, we've seen 18,943 first-time guests, 9,532 decisions for Christ, and 20,964 people decide to start giving for the very first time. That really helps a lot of ministry to happen each and every week. And so many people are connecting like never before. It's been remarkable to see how many of you have stayed connected in this season. And so many people online, that connection begins through a simple click of a link in the chat window.
I decided to become more involved with Elevation. I signed up to serve as a volunteer and then started to chat host on YouTube. From the get-go, I really enjoyed it, and I felt like I had purpose to my life. This year, the 771 online volunteers have reached out to 23,798 people individually and countless more in the chat. Each of those 23,000 people we've been able to pray for personally, connected them with community, and made sure that even in a year that feels lonely, they know that they're not alone.
So I remember tuning in every single Sunday to Pastor Stephen's sermons, and he said one day, "You can join an e-group today." And I went to the website and I saw this Spanish-speaking group. When I joined that e-group, like I was watching alone. Now that I have an e-group, now it feels like I belong to that thing I'm watching every single Sunday. It feels like a family. This year, almost 7,000 people have found this kind of community in e-groups.
So this year has been a year about finding community in a lot of different ways, but not just here in the United States or here in Charlotte. We've seen our global online community grow in ways like never before.
This is a global ministry. I know we're in the middle of a global pandemic, but we're also in the middle of a global revival that God is doing in the earth today. Cassie in South Africa, she leads our 6th watch party in South Africa.
I have been impacted by this ministry. I would say this year was difficult for many people, but for me, I believe it was absolutely necessary because I grew. I grew spiritually to a place where I could have not imagined. And I saw God moving in my life when everything else in the world stopped. And even though we were not in a church building, I saw how God could move through me to impact the lives of others. And because of this, I have grown spiritually more.
So EFAM, Elevation Church, thank you for allowing God to use you to expand the gospel all around the globe. Whether you newly joined a Facebook group, maybe you were sharing the experience every single week, you volunteered, you joined an e-group, you started a watch party. Thank you for saying yes to what it is that God wanted to do in and through your life. We love seeing you prioritize this experience each and every week, but we believe that we're just getting started. God isn't finished with how He wants to move through this church all around the world, and we can't wait to see how He does it through you, right where you are.